Hello, today we will come demo example of Web Power Next for settings. At the beginning, we have to connect the project to our database first. In case we already have a database, we can choose a yes and then choose our database type, whether it's MySQL or MSQL. Once selected, you can configure the server, username, password, or database that you want to connect to. If you are addicted to the problem with firewalls or anything different, you can tick it as a no for the generate system and the database that is MyTL for the initial connection first. This one, please choose no and click to save. When pressed to save. When pressed to save, the base bar will have Menu Manager button. Database has increased. When you click Mana, will bring to our base data. You can add table or creative to view. That can be used in our project. Next, in the General section. General, we can determine the title, foot upload. The file is the logo and the icon of the website that we want to prepare to come out. Can determine the size of the page, how much can choose the size of the page, such as this one, defined as 25, 50 and 100. The form page will be 25 items. Sauce. Data sorting can choose whether it is multi-field or single field. Date format, sir. This one will be the format to use at the end of every page of the website. The case can be defined as dates that are dating times can be formatted or, in the case of dating only or time only, can be formatted by looking at tokens. In the settings, from the data below, for example, if we don't need a second unit, you can delete the format. Next, in the Google Key section, we can determine the key of the Google map that will be used on our website, which will be explained in the next section. When done, press Save. The system will save and bring in the next cable connection. In the first step, we have created or updated the feed data. We can click Sync Table. The system will retrieve the table field or different views. Start in the settings. In this part, we can choose whether to be generate or not. Generate table can go out. For example, this one will choose to be generate only in the district. The part of the Delhi cell record, the lipstick part of Gale, we may not use it, we do not tick it off, we do not. Tick the data. Productions, Providence, Store User, Sir. The view can be selected, And on this page you can specify the caps you want to display on the page, which may not match the table name. Can press to save data. Next, in the table part, we can configure the difference in the table. By separating it into parts of General, General can determine whether or not we will remove this table information. Default page can determine whether to give. Is this menu a good page when logging in? Auditel, make a blog data collection of yes or when. Add, delete or edit the information inside the table. Transfer owner records can determine whether to let the user log into our web page, see his own information or not. In the filter part, we can define QLI in an additional display, such as we only need to display at the status store, which is equal to open. You can specify more queues of this view page. As for the sauce, it's the order of the show. It can be determined whether it will be an ascending or descending order. The order in the order can be ordered further, such as, this will be. Based on the order by open date, DSC is the latest opening date and then arranged by the name of ASC. Requesting activity control can choose whether this payable is required to log in before entering or not. The captions are the messages that will be displayed on this menu, as they were set before. Next, in the lib page section. In the section of the page, the lib page can be defined. The file type format that can be exported, whether it is CSV or Excel, can be determined to display the sequence. On the web page or not, you can determine that when you access it, you must make a server before displaying the information. It can turn off search functions that are extant or quick search. And then you can determine what you want to search for, and then you can choose the feed you want to search for. To load to perform, sir. Lows can add more than one. Next is the rich field section that will be shown on the page. Can choose whether to. Can display which feed in the table and can be ordered from the drag drop. Next, in the view page, you can choose this view table. We want to display the page for the view information. or not, where you can narrow and then choose the feed to show, or you can choose all of them, which are divided into columns. Separately, it can be separated into 2 columns, or into 3 columns. Or for columns as well. In the Add page, likewise, you can choose whether to add data to this table, and then you can select the feed you want to search by dividing the display into activities as well. Next, in the Edit Page section, it will be like in the Add Page section. You can select the page and then specify. Can determine the activity and can be determined in the LED part. In the feed that does not want to be edited, for the part of DD, the page will determine whether to delete data from this table or not. Exports will determine which data you want to export to CSV or Excel. You can modify the data from the right. Can come here or can be a Rex out. Next in the field, the data feed will be the data it is derived from. Sync is from the table. We can define the caps of that feed. It can be determined whether this feed can be viewed as a quick search or not, such as the feed that is a username, to be seen as a quick search. It will be the input type you want to express. The input type we'll have together is auto input, used for the feed that is auto entertainment. Will cause this feed to not display on the web page and not accept different values from the website. Input is a common input, can define challenger limits. Define a good Buffalo field or check Unicode data. In case of needing Veridash information other than 2. Two of these, you can add a custodian date, with a sample code below. You can write more function code. The message that is retracted will be the specified one, and then the concept. You can write more code. And return the value that is true or blue. Go out to this function. In the Fill Notes section, it's in the Notes Display section below each fill. Next will be a password. The password will be similar to as an input, different to not showing the filled value, but in the form of a password. UL is similar to the input feed, but it will be the limit of the character that can be filled in. This will be suitable for use in creating UID engravings of web pages. Integration, sir. An input that is an integral will be used with numbers that are integers. Numbers will be the input for numbers that are decimals. Datetime will be the input that is. This is a pickup date. This is a pickup date. You can choose the date and time. Dating will be a pickup date as well, but can only choose a date. Time is also a pickup date, but can only choose time. For the drop star in the drop star section, there will be a drop star display. You can determine the source of the drop star from two places, which is the lookup table and the fixed choice. In the case of a lookup table, you can choose a lookup to the desired table, such as a lookup to the provincial table. You can choose the key of the province table you want to look up to. Can choose which display name you want to pull from the table to make a lookup. In the balance field section, we can determine the link of up to for fuses, for example, the district. We want the district to be a drop-down. Look up to the district table. Go to the ID field, shown as the name field, which would like balance field to be linked to Poven ID field of table store and table district. This will only get a re-rating of the information that has a palang, like the district. In the lookup information section, we can set more orders as well. As in this case, it is arranged by name. And can also filter the data. From the cable that needs to be updated separately from the setup tape of the main cable. Next, drop-down. In case we choose to use it as a choice, we can add keywhere. And the text shown on the page can go together. Tech area. We'll choose the input that is a tech area, can be a long text engine. This is the HTMS editioner. It will be in the area where you can add data, put different HTMS data to the data. Checkbox, sir. In the checkbox part. And radio. Working will be the same as drop-down, just different. The element that shows whether it is a drop-down checkbox or LEDIO. Hidden. In case we want to hide the information, we can hit this feed input. Upload. We can select the format to upload. which can be determined through which we want to paste the file. The file type can be defined as the file format that we will allow for uploading. Yes, Max uploaded the file can determine maximum file limit that we will be able to upload. File size upload limit can determine the file limit of the size that we will allow to upload image. It's the same as uploading. It's different in the display format on the page. Delete facts. In case we want to delete the data but not actually delete it on. In the database, we can define a particular feed as a flash for the deletion. The tag input is a flash deletion and the desired configuration indicates that this record has been deleted. For example, this one is a flash, configure it as a word. The next part will be auto input. There will be 9 things together. Currency date is created. In case of selecting this tag input, the system will stamp the date of creation. Go to the field. Or will be a username except create. Will stamp as a username. IP is stamped as an IP. Creative episode. And then it will be divided into 2 more data, except for updates, which is to stamp when updating the data, or except for the delay, which is to stamp when performing the delay in case this table works like a flash. The next part, the event server, is that we can write more code to each table. That can work in addition to the system to make Jane. Like the client event, sir. But it is different that the event server will run on the site server side. The client script will work on the client side. Next, in the view part, it is the same as the table. Everything is different that cannot be added in the lead. The data will be obtained from the table view. On the table that we sync the stunner. Next, in the part of the report, we can report it by naming the report. And the table that made the link. Once you have created custom retort, you will be able to determine whether you want to be generate or other settings like the table. The same is true for Lisp. But it's different that we can choose the data group we want. For example, we want to display cell data by group by ID store. The difference with table is that we can choose the function to use. It works with the feed we set up. For example, we want to make a sum. Everett. Average, Find the min value, find the max value, or count the amount of data from grouping with this feed. Next, in the cut page section, it will be able add a blank page for tree selection in other parts than the whole wine system. But using the management of the system rights, you can choose the rebuffalo essence control. In this part, only the general part will be set. Next, in the part of the scene, can determine, define the page name, and then choose table information, sir, who want to go and retrieve. We'll make a scene by in the setting. The general part can be defined as including the table settings, including field settings. Likewise, sir. But there's a scene where we can add scene information. Can determine the type of scene, whether the bar, the pattern, the pie scene, the donut scene. Lido or Ariana, determine the name of GranX. Define the feed to come to be the x-axis. Define the name of the y-axis. Define the feed to come to be taken as the y-axis. And then determine the type of includes information. There will be this is sum, Everett, min, max and count. Next, in the map section, can determine the URL name of the map page and determine a table that needs to be retrieved, where you can configure general, and you can specify the desired configuration on the map, be it define the name of the location, set the address of the locator, and then define the feed that is and is attached to Jude, secondary to Jude, to be shown on the map. And in the cut code part is the same work with event servers and event clients in the settings of each page, but they are different. The event server and the cayenne script of the cut code will run on every page. Next, it will be in the secure section. The segment will be divided into two parts. It is an admin account and a utable version. The admin account will be username that is hard-coded in the system. All rights can be used. As for user table mission, it will be on table user. It can be determined which table to use as user table. Can define a level field user. The feed, that is the part that opens the email feed and assigns the level table. And there will be a public account. It will be a log count. Number of login in the cell or login if logged in. More mistakes than scheduled or will be forced to change the password every 30 days and 60 days and 90 days. You can configure this page. Where in part. User table mission. There will be more fields tables at the Buffalo. Can press the Buffalo Astor base table and make a copy. This set of ESQ data come to make an XQ. In our database, it will be in the database section. In the menu section, you can determine two positions on the menu on the left. With the Internet menu that is above, the menu itself will extract information from the table data that we have configured in the table bar. The icon can be defined. The position of the icon can be dragged. Menu position. Different menus can be added. This way, can determine the destination or not to be used to group data. Once obtained, can drag the data to do. Click under the newly created menu. Finished, can press Save. In the multi-grade section, it will be a table meal schedule in the window of the page. With the table section, it will be a table cap. Fuse, you can specify the caps of the fuse custom in addition to under the table tab on this menu. User value will be a choice. Menu, in the case, the menu that we have increased. Mana can come to schedule the meal in a different language. Size tech will be in the title and the food that we defined at general. General will be another information that we defined. Want to use within the web page, where the web can support more than one language, can press the grade force, make a new grade, to add the language. More, sir. When pressed to save, the system will reconstruct the language column. Can define different languages. And can also define a good default grade that will be used to display on the web page. Yes, and when we have finished the configuration on different parts, we will come to generate code, up to the activity we need, can press generate now. The system will start posting information from the activity and then rate it according to the value we have displayed, then output the information on the activity. Once done, we will be able to get information on the event. Can go to see the post information. As we have config, or we can copy the data from the hairpin. Come to make the cone come down to our device. Once the cone has been done, we can adjust the configuration, database, point to the base that we currently use, install package required.